So the girls are asleep and they mowing the lawn. So it's a voiceover. Alright, so I like to go in with this Bare Skin primer from Maybelline, which I couponed. Every single thing I use in this whole video, I have couponed from CVS. So pay attention to all this drugstore goodies, including this Aquaphor. Aquaphor is expensive. It's expensive and essential for you to have if you have children, dry skin, or a combination of the two in your household. I'm going to go in and use some of the same stuff I've already used in my other video where I do my makeup, which is the e.l.f. brow pomade. I use that for my eyebrows the majority of the time. I do have a variety of pencils that I bought for eyebrows couponing, and a lot of the brands do not do well with this. It's really only the e.l.f. one is good. I have a Wet n Wild one that's pretty good. Other than that, the majority of them are terrible. The only one that I haven't been able to coupon, I believe, is the LA Girl one. So that one I may have to look into to see if I can get it. But other than that, not a lot of them do well. So that's why I use the same stuff all the time. I use what I know performs, but I don't have a problem with trying other stuff. It's just you get 1 or 2 tries with me, and I'm gonna keep it pushing because I get everything I need out of this brow pomade, and I've been using it for years. It takes me forever to get through a whole jar on top of that, so why wouldn't I keep using it? It's like $3. And I do this the same way I always do. This is like my more dramatic brow, quote unquote. Then I'll go ahead and do my concealer underneath. I like to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer. I use Fawn, which is almost every other black girl's favorite shade to use for under their eyes or under their brows. It matches pretty well for me, and I'm starting to get darker, so it's kind of being a little bit more perfect. It's a little too light in the wintertime, and sometimes I still use it anyway. But it depends on what mood I'm in. I've used a couple different concealers on here, all that I've couponed except for the NARS one I've used previously. That one I got at Sephora for like a sample price, so that's why I was trying it out to see if I wanted to actually spend big bucks on it. But the LA Girl does really good without you having to pay crazy money, and as long as you treat it well, it actually sets pretty well. I never have any real issues with it creasing, which we'll talk about a little bit after I do my concealer and stuff, after my eyeshadow. But yeah, it performs pretty well. Now I'm going to go in and do my eyes. I always like to do my eyebrows, my eyes, and then my whole face. I go in with a Maybelline palette. It's the... I'll have to tag it. I'm not even going to act like I've seen that name because I honestly don't remember. But they only have a couple palettes that they actually sell in the drugstore. I do know that the color I use name is Coca-Cola. It's like a brownish, orangey-ish type of color. It's like a more colorful version of me just using my bronzer, I guess you could say. And I'm just going to put that in my crease on both eyes. Like, my simple eyeshadow look is literally a crease color and a lid color, which is usually a glitter. And since I've been able to do my wing liner better, I'll just add that, and it looks like you have all this eyeshadow on when you really don't. So that's why I like that look a lot. It dresses up my more natural look, even when I want to put more makeup on with it. I go in with the e.l.f. palette that I coupon. They got these little minis with only 4 shadows in it. I use the darker glitter, I guess you could say, in there. A lot of light glitters don't go too well with my skin tone, in my opinion, so I always use the darker ones usually. But I usually just put it all on my lid and blend in with the crease brush over, just to make sure it doesn't look like I just slapped it on there. And that's it. That's the only 2 eyeshadows I use. I just keep going back and forth to make sure it's blended good enough and it doesn't look a little, blotchy or whatever. But the e.l.f. palette, like for the 4 colors that's in it, it's pretty pigmented compared to what you would expect it to be. I think the palette was only $7 for those 4 eyeshadows. Now, it's a little bit more expensive for e.l.f., but I think that was the point. It's supposed to be like a travel, like on-the-go palette, and that's a really good color scheme if this is the type of looks you like to wear, especially if you're going to be doing your makeup real quick and going somewhere and that's the end of it, then yeah, this is like going to definitely be a move for a lot of people. And when I coupon a lot of this stuff, I don't pay anywhere near the regular price. Right now, I'm going to use an eyeliner that actually is discontinued at CVS. It's the MUA brand. It could be somewhere else. I honestly am not sure. I just know that CVS no longer sells it. And I didn't pay much for this at all because I got it on the clearance rack, and it actually was really good. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, so I did buy 2 of them. So sorry, but that it just worked out for me in that way. And that's another thing about couponing. You might be able to get some good stuff on a deal, but then there's other stuff you might get on clearance, and you may not be able to use it for a long time. You maybe have 1 or 2 of them, and then when it's done, it's done. But it's worth it in the end because it worked in your favor. So pay attention. I do plan on putting out a video very soon on my couponing process, the things I've been able to acquire couponing. So stay tuned. But yeah, I like to clean up my wings. I usually have one that looks better than the other. Most times my right side looks way better than my left side, or I just can't get them to be the same thickness on each side. So I do go in with concealer and clean it up. It ain't no shame in that. I know plenty of these gurus that still do it because they do they wings off camera and then come back and be like, oh yeah, I did it with one try. Like, nope, not me, sis. I take my time, I mess up, and then I do it again. I'm going in with the Maybelline Cover foundation. It is fairly new in the store that I go to. And it's the only color out of my drugstore makeup that matches me right now because I'm starting to get dark because I've been outside a little bit more, post quarantine ish. So it's working for me. It looks a little orange at first, and then when it starts to like lay down and I guess oxidize, it blends in way better. But a lot of the other ones I have are way too light, and it makes me sad because I am not buying them all in the darker shade. I'm just not. I'm gonna go in and do the Fawn underneath my eyes. I've started to do it on my nose, just the line in the middle of my nose, because I'm not good with contouring, but I've noticed that doing just the highlight alone in the middle, it does actually help. Like make it look like I'm sculpting my nose in a way without me even having to put the bronzer or contour color, whatever, on the other sides of my nose, because anytime I try to do that, it comes out terrible. And I get too scared to do the forehead a little bit too, like with a lot of highlighter, because I just don't want it to look crazy on me. So I never do a lot there. But I'm taking my sponge, is Sonia Kashuk. This I actually didn't coupon. I will say I didn't coupon this. I got it from Target, but it's very inexpensive because it's a Sonia Kashuk sponge. It was literally like not even $10. But yeah, always wet it. Wet it. The only time I don't wet my sponge is with that NARS concealer. This one, you can't play yourself because nothing will move around the right way, and then you just wasted your time moving the foundation around pretty much. Disregard all the times you see me looking to the side. I was watching YouTube videos while I did this since the girls were asleep, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to do a voiceover. I was like super multitasking this day because I finished the video I was doing for my hair. So this was the makeup I premiered my hair with. I'm going to use Wet n Wild banana powder. They have like a photo finish powder, and I tell you, this is like so freaking good. Like I used to use the Laura Mercier powder, and I don't know if I just wasn't doing it right, but it just was a little too light for me. It didn't work out for me. But this, after trial and error of using different powders I've couponed, it's worked out that I've been able to find this lovely powder. The translucent, no, but the banana, yes, definitely works. And I don't leave it on long. I do not bake whatsoever. I'm literally going to leave this on for a second and then just brush it right off, and then I'll do the rest of my powder. Now, if I do a lighter concealer, then yes, I might use translucent because I want it to stay lighter. But for me, I like more natural looks, more soft matte type of look for my base. So this is probably what I'm gonna always do. It just always looks more aesthetic to me. And then I don't do heavy contour or anything like that. I'm using a face powder. It's the darkest face powder that Maybelline carries, and I use that as a contour. I don't usually do my forehead. I do it here and there. It depends on how my hair is going to be styled. So I just did it for the sake because I really didn't know how my hair was going to come out. And then I just do my finishing powder over top of it. It's the black Radiance finishing powder that I used previously, and that's the only powder I really use on my face right now because I know that it works well with anything I put on it. And then I'm just going to go in and highlight some points. I do my under my brow, and I'm going to do the inner corners of my eyes, and I take the color that I put in my crease and put it on the outer end of under my eye, and poke myself in the eye a little bit, and then I do the inner corner after that with the light glitter that was inside that e.l.f. palette. Now I like to highlight and see where it goes, and if it looks too crazy then I like blend it out. I do not do blush anymore. I don't like blush. It's not my friend. It doesn't go with my skin tone. I'm sorry. So I'm using this Covergirl palette that I got that couponed as well. It has 3 different shades in it, one being way too light for me, so I do not use it at all. And the other times I blend the 2 that are in there that are like a darker gold, I guess you could say. I blend them together and then use them for my highlight. But yeah, I look at my face and I see, I'm forgetting something, which is mascara. I always forget that. I'm going to add that there, which I actually think I didn't record. Smart. And then you always make sure you go back under your eyes real quick, even if you set your face. Matter of fact, I believe I set my face and didn't catch that on camera already. I used Revlon finishing spray, and I did my mascara after that because we do not want it to bleed out, and we're done. If you made it this far, go ahead and drop them purple hearts in the comment section. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe because you got this far so we can get that 100 subscribers. And that's it. See ya.